Hello guys, welcome back to another video of our channel, OurEyesYourEyes. Yeah, actually, let's say that 2 minutes ago you saw the other one, so it's pointless to make such a big intro. But anyway, we are talking about Tenki no Ko. In this case, there are many spoilers. So if you didn't watch this movie yet, please don't watch this video. After you will watch the movie, please come back, check out the video and leave in the comments below your opinions and thoughts. Before starting this video, we remind you to subscribe to our channel, click on the notification bell and follow us on our social media. Hello, Sensei.
Hello.
I mean, you're fine because I asked you in the previous video, but anyway, how are you, Sensei?
I'm so fine.
Okay, good. So, Sensei,
Hi.
what do you want to say about Tenki no Ko? We have so many things to say, guys. We made a list as always. And now, point after point, we are going to explain you everything we liked.
First of all, as you know guys, we prefer this movie better than Kimi no Na wa.
Absolutely. I think that Makoto Shinkai really developed his skills in each way. Because, listen, since the story was easy and it was really understandable. So I think he did a great job.
Yes, it's simpler and more understandable, but on the other hand, it has a deeper meaning and a deeper theme.
I think so, yeah. In fact, as the sensei told you right now, deep meanings and let's say some connections with Japan. With the history of Japan. And I was really happy because finally there are many connections also with the mythology, all the references, so it's really awesome. But let's go step by step. Another thing you liked, Sensei, about Tenki no Ko?
I like so much the graphics.
I agree also in this case. Yeah, absolutely. Do you have a favorite scene, Sensei?
Yes.
Okay.
I like this hanabi scene. I can say this is the best hanabi in all anime for me.
Wow! Listen, I totally agree with him because first of all, we went to a cinema that had a great super mega big screen. So we felt the movie so much because even if we were not in the front row, you could see the movie like, oh my god. And it was amazing. Second of all, the hanabi scene. Yes guys, when Hina has to help all people who are waiting to watch the fireworks. You know, hanabi tradition in Japan is really important. So all the people wish all the times every year, please, can we have a good weather in order to see fireworks? So they asked the Hina to modify the weather in order to have a great and beautiful night. And let's say that the projection of the fireworks, it was unbelievable. It seemed to go through the fireworks at some point.
Oh yes, I felt that we go inside the hanabi route.
Yeah, great. Yes.
Under the hanabi, you can find that Olympic main stadium.
Ah, exactly. Oh, what's the name?
新国立競技場.
Ah, 国立競技場. Yes, it's in the city center of Tokyo. So, absolutely. Sensei, what about the rainy scenes? The great representation of rain. Even if this means drops or heavy rain, the sound that the rain produces, it's unbelievable. I mean, let's say that the weather in general, it was amazing. What do you think?
Yes, in anime, it's so hard to express what they paint the water. But in this anime, they made the motion of water very well.
Yeah.
It's about techniques over making anime.
Yeah, the skills they use, of course.
Yes. This is so hard to make a motion of water. But in this anime, of course, yes, they create beautiful rain drops.
Well, it was so clear.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed that you were watching real water. So.
And from the rain drops, they create, I don't remember the name, but
don't worry.
the transparent fishes.
Yeah, in fact, what's the name of those fishes? Because I still didn't understand. But anyway, leave a comment below, probably because Japanese is not my mother tongue, so I skipped it. But even the says I didn't remember. So another good thing regarding graphics, guys, is the slow motion. Sometimes it happened. While, for example, Hina was praying in front of the Tori, and while she was crossing the Tori, and then she put her hands together, then there was that slow motion scene like you saw in the trailer. Or when there is the high spin scenes, for example, when the camera focuses on Hina's face and in a high speed. That was awesome. Recently, Sensei, you can find it in many other anime, this type of technique. But I think that in Makoto Shinkai's movie, they really put all of their efforts in order to make it so greatly. Yeah,
I like also the first time, that scene, the first time Hina floating or flying in front of that boy Hodaka.
Absolutely. Yeah. That was great.
Great.
Yeah, let's say that this movie is focusing on rain because they chose Tokyo and they chose the rainy season. Is it a coincidence, Sense, that Makoto Shinkai decided to publish this movie during the Tsuyu season here in Japan? That means rainy season?
I don't think so.
I think it's not a coincidence. In fact, I think that he decided to publish it for a good reason. Yes, exactly. But the rain is not the only one protagonist of this movie, because Hina can modify the weather. So also when there are sunny moments or ray lights reflecting the skyscrapers, the colors are so beautiful. Even when there was the sunset before the fireworks started. Wow, the colors they chose. What about you, Sensei?
Yes. The Hodaka, that boy said, Hina can make just a part of sunny sky,
exactly.
not entire.
Exactly.
So that makes the sun ray light. Wow,
Yes.
I like that beautiful ray light.
Exactly, because it's one and only ray light, and once she opens the sky all the time, you can see this ray light shining, and all around it's cloudy or the rain is going to stop. So there's a beautiful contrast between the shadows, between the dark and the light, as always, and I really love it. Yeah.
Also, in the beginning of this movie, do you remember that rainy scene? But just only one point that the shrine has a ray light.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you see it actually. You see it in the first instance. I mean, in the first minutes of the movie. So check it out. It's awesome.
I like these graphics and also landscapes. You can see many scenes with a wide angle lens.
Yeah, especially the island where Hodaka is coming from. Sometimes they show you he is not from Tokyo and he is coming to Tokyo for his summer break, for his summer holidays. So sometimes there are some flashbacks in which you can see where he was from. And it's nice, yes, I agree. The landscapes also regarding islands or the big metropolis Tokyo. It's great, yeah.
But that metropolis, it's going underwater.
At the end of the movie, guys, I was like this. Because I was not expecting at all that Tokyo was underwater, because it was 3 years that it kept going on raining. And usually when you see this catastrophical environment, this catastrophical scenario, you believe, as in all catastrophe movies you saw before in your life, okay, now there will be people asking for help, or they are afraid, or they can't survive. They try to find a solution in order to survive. No. In this case, everything was totally different and unexpected. But why, Sensei?
Yes, I also thought, now they are going to stop this catastrophe somehow. I don't know do that. And okay, let's take a happy end, but the result is underwater.
Exactly. Wow. They didn't try to find any solution. totally the opposite.
Yes.
I mean, people were not afraid at all. They were living their life as if nothing happened. I mean, okay, today's another day. Okay, let's go to our workplace, or let's drink a cup of tea. Who cares? In fact, in the scene of the old woman,
that the old woman.
Exactly, with Hodaka, she's sitting on her table offering to Hodaka some sweets, a cup of tea, and they are talking. While outside there is the rainbow bridge that is almost covered by water. Can you understand? But let's say that this reflects Japanese people personality, in my opinion.
Even after this great catastrophe, they adapt themselves to the situation.
Or they keep going on. I mean,
yes.
they fight or they don't give up. That's important.
And they got back their usual life. This is a type of the strength of life.
Absolutely. Japanese people, when there is a big earthquake, typhoon, a volcano eruption, heavy rains, floods, whatever, you see the next day that they are going to work. This is exactly what I was saying in the intro, the clear expression of what the Japanese people are from this point of view. So I really love it. But let's say, Sensei, that was a way to connect with nature. I mean, we are talking about the final scenes, okay, of the movie. You see that the human people decide to connect with nature and not to fight against nature or to find a solution for sure. They prefer to get in touch with nature and respect the final result. And this is awesome.
The middle of this movie, one old man said it, human being is just a host or guest between heaven or sky and ground.
We are powerless, guys.
Don't forget to respect nature.
Yeah, don't challenge it, because you can find a great and negative surprise if you challenge nature. And I totally agree with what this monk said. He was a monk of a shrine that also the journalists are trying to have an interview with him.
Yes.
So in that specific moment, they are explaining this. And I totally agree.
Yes.
That's what happened, actually. Because they preferred that nature ruled the world.
And that monk has a family, and his grandson, he said to journalist, "Why do you listen to my grandfather? Is it useful?" Yes,
Yes,
it's
it
so
is.
useful.
Absolutely.
Opinion. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, let's say that there is another theme right now that we discovered. All generations, most of the times, can teach us great things that maybe young generations are skipping. Even if they are simple principles, sometimes we have to learn from old generations, not always. But sometimes they have good hints or they give you good advice. So in this case, let's say that Makoto Shinkai wanted to underline the respect, or maybe let's say to pay attention on what all the generations are saying, because it can be useful. But Sensei, I forgot to tell the viewers that, do you remember the old woman we were talking about her a few minutes ago? Who is she?
Yes, she is the grandmother of Taki-kun from Kimi no Na wa, that boy.
When I saw him, because he will be part of the movie, I mean, he will be in the movie. So when I saw him, at first, I said, I already saw this boy. Where? And then the sensei told me, Taki-kun, Kimi no Na wa yo. My face was like, wow, so Makoto Shinkai decided to connect these two movies, even if it was just for a little bit. But let's say that there was also the female character of Kimi no Na wa.
that girl, Mitsuha.
Exactly. Where did we find her? Sensei?
When the boy, Hodaka-kun, he is going to buy ring.
For Hina. For the girl he loves. Because let's say that between Hina and Hodaka, there will be a nice relationship, let's say. But when I found her, also in that case, I was saying, because let's say that in that moment, the director of the anime didn't shoot her immediately. Just at the end, when she was giving an advice to Hodaka about love. So when they showed her face, I was like, no. Then Taki-kun, he is a part of this movie because the old woman asked Hina to make a good weather in order to celebrate Obon and the traditions regarding this big holiday in Japan in August. So, wow, even if there has no connection, Makoto find a way to put the two protagonists of his previous masterpiece inside of a weathering video. How was it, Sensei? What did you feel when you saw them?
本当にびっくりした。
Me too.
When I discovered that, I saw you.
Yeah, because sometimes the sensei was looking at me. Even for the scene of Hanabi that I told you before, the sensei was looking at me and I was like, ah, kire. Let's say that I was inside of a fantasy world, so I think this movie has also this power.
ちょっと待ってください。Can I,
okay.
let me go back the subject. We talked about that old man,
Yeah.
the monk. He told the journalist about the legend or mythology regarding the dragon and Miko.
Wow, who is Miko, Sensei? Let's review a little bit this point because it's important in my opinion.
Yes, Miko in general, it's a girl. She's praying in a shrine.
Try to remember this scene.
And in this anime, she can modify the weather.
So it means that probably Hina is a young version of Miko. I mean, because Miko has the same characteristics of Hina. So let's say that in my personal opinion, it can be just a reincarnation of Miko.
And that dragon is a god of the rain.
Yeah, do you remember all the times we went to a temple and we saw dragons? And we were talking about this. In Japanese mythology, the dragon is the symbol of water. So it's something really positive. Also in this case, Hina had the power to change the weather. But let's say that she had the power to bring the sun, so to stop the rain, that means water. Let's say that she is a kind of goddess because who has this power to change the weather or to stop rain?
Yes, it seems she can ask the dragon to onegai, please stop the rain just this moment.
Exactly. So as I was saying you in the intro, another thing I really like about this movie is that finally we have some mythology references, and also he dedicates time to what the Japanese people believe. It's important because thanks to these details, he can describe not only the routine of the people, or the routine of Japanese people, but also what do they believe in. It's really important in order to get in touch with a different culture, especially if you guys are going to watch the movie from outside Japan. This is good.
Yes, good.
To put mystic references, for example, the shrine, the temple, this belief that a woman can change the weather, with the mythology, this figure of Miko and the figure of the dragon. Oh, I like these things.
I like also that paint. Do you remember when that monk explained this mythology?
Yeah.
They showed the paint of dragon and Miko.
Yes.
It's so beautiful.
And in temples you can find these dragons. So if you go inside of a temple hall, main hall, and you look up, you can see these beautiful paintings regarding dragons. They are unbelievable. If you wanted to check out some of our Kamakura videos, we went to great temples and you can see it. If, Sensei, we wanted to talk about Hina, that is one of the main protagonists of this movie, let's say that thanks to Hina, Shinkai developed also another subject that happened for real here in Japan, especially in the past. This subject or this terminology is hitobashira. Sometimes Hina herself during the movie, she is saying this word. I don't know, guys, in the translation, when they will translate Tenki no Ko in your country, if it will have the same essence, the same result. Probably not, because in your country, in the past, probably they didn't do this. How can we collocate this period, Sensei?
You can say ancient days, but less than 1,000 years.
Okay.
It happened.
Let's explain you really quick what hitobashira means. It means when people are buried alive inside of walls. And why these people in the past made this choice, why they decided to bury other people inside of walls, or inside of bridges, or inside of the walls of main castles. I mean, this is a legend sometimes, but we have some reports that it was true that they did it. They did it simply because this action brought happiness, or took away evil spirits or negativity around those places. So as you can see, there is anyway a connection, because Hina, she wants to bring happiness. So let's say that she wants to sacrifice herself for the happiness of other people. It's a hard choice, right, Sensei?
Part of what you said is right.
Okay.
Not at all, but sometimes we can find the story has this same situation or this method.
Okay, that means let's make people happy, and let's sacrifice myself in order to make other people happy. But at the same time, while she wants to make other people happy, I felt as if Hina was also used a lot.
Ah, yes.
Just because she has this power doesn't mean that you have to use a person for your own purposes. So, from one hand, it's good because nobody forced Hina to do this. I mean, she decided by herself to make other people happy as her new job, because she left McDonald's and she started to change the weather for other people. To make people happy, for example, she changed the weather for a wedding. She changed the weather for Hanabi. She changed the weather in order to make people cosplay. Okay, fine. I mean, there are many different reasons and many different ways to make people happy. She is so kind as a person, and she wants to do it as her own free will. But on the other hand, you see that she is opening this website with Hodaka. So, from one point of view, I think that Hodaka is using her so much. I don't know if he is gaining some money from this, because we see that in this website it's written that she's doing this for Gosen yen, that means 5,000 yen. But we don't know if Hodaka gained something from this.
But once he recognizes that power takes Hina her life away, she doesn't want to use it anymore.
Exactly. Love is more important than anything else. So once Hodaka understands that this is really painful and there is no other choice to let her live, he decides to stop this, to prevent her death. And that's why Tokyo is underwater for about 3 years and a half.
But this is the other point I like Hodaka. He refused to, Hina doesn't use it, this power anymore.
Exactly.
Even if the result makes a big catastrophe.
That's what love is, guys. Because when you love a person, you care so much about that person that you don't even care about all the rest. The man who is fighting for his girl is always a good choice. Even when he tries to save her, because he went against the police, everybody, even against the journalist who hosted him in his house, in his studio, let's say. He went against him in order to go and save her. Always talking about Hina, I told you that she left McDonald's in order to start her own job, in order to be happy, to make something that makes her really happy. I believe that this is one of the most important things, because when you're doing something that doesn't make you happy, the result is negative, or you can start feeling depressed. There are many negative conclusions. But when you work and you do what really makes you happy, the result is great. And even if it's not the same as you expected, this is what makes you happy. So I think Makoto Shinkai wants to say to all viewers, make what makes you happy, because this can make you special, can make you different from all other people. Otherwise, all people are the same. And this is another, unfortunately, sorry to say this, but this is another reality of Japan, because many people do the same things, or they usually do the same job, or they pretend to reach the same status, the same fame, whatever, by doing the same things, because this is what the routine is. So I think that go against the routine and start something totally different can change your life forever. And in fact, with this choice, Hina's life is changing because she can make other people happy. She found love. She can appreciate tiny moments of happiness that before maybe she couldn't think about. So everything has always a positive ending, and this is awesome. The way you have to believe in yourself, and even if people are not trusting you, you have to go on. You have to fight for what you really want, because at the end, the important thing is not what the people are going to say about you, is what you do for your happiness. Is amazing.
Amore, you said even if people don't believe it, do you remember before they started their business that making the sunny days?
Yeah.
Hina, she didn't believe herself.
Exactly.
When they put the price
Yeah.
to make sunny,
5,000
yen, is it too expensive?
No,
No.
it's not, because Makoto Shinkai used a superpower, okay? But in my opinion, it has a metaphor, because you have, all of you guys, me and the sensei as well, we have the power to make other people smile and to put the sun in other people's life.
I think this story is a metaphor of. I think story is a metaphor about younger generation underestimate, get special power, and at the end they accept the reality and adapt themselves.
There is always a difference in many other movies between older generations and the new generations. But I think that Hina is the example that even if she's coming from a younger generation, she can change the world.
This is a balance of reality and fantasy. Yeah.
Many times that I saw movies from Makoto Shinkai, usually his fans, they are making reality versus screenshots from the movies in order to test if it's really the same context or the same landscape. Listen, sometimes it's really difficult to understand what's the reality, what's the fantasy, what's the anime screenshot, because he painted places, landscapes, whatever, people also, or brands or skyscrapers, etc., as if it's real. Every time I watch this anime or his movies, I look and I say, oh my god, ma, that place is the same. So if you come to Tokyo and you search some places like many people found the stairs of Kimi no Nawa, it's the same, right? So also for Tenki no Ko, you will find many.
Yeah, especially in Shinjuku or Ikebukuro, you can find many places.
Yoyogi.
Yoyogi,
Says,
yes. And other real place. For me, the important place is that ship. That ship exists, and I took it.
Sensei, let's go one more time and we shoot the video over there. This is the ship that the Hodaka took in the movie!
When I traveled to the island, I took that ship.
But you went to his same island, Sensei?
Sorry, no.
Okay.
I traveled to different island, but the ship has the same name, Salvia Maru. And that ship is owned by the company Tokai Kisen. Some years ago, I had that Tokai Kisen, that company's stock. I was so surprised and a little bit of happy.
And another thing, Sensei, is that all the brands that we saw on top of skyscrapers, I have to say it honestly, usually they modify the names in anime.
Yeah.
For example, also the convenience store, they are not called the Family Mart, 7-Eleven, but they change a little bit the name because of the copyright. But in this anime, you see all the name of the stores. They kept the same name, so it's even more realistic than usual. Go and watch it with a big screen, you will understand what we mean. Oh, Sensei, this is a little bit strange to say, but it was omoshiroi, it was interesting. Finally, in one anime movie, you can see how Tokyo can be feared. The protagonist, Hodaka, when he reaches Tokyo, he feels afraid of the metropolis. He is surrounded by a lot of people, by a lot of trains, by a lot of skyscrapers. A totally different scenario, because he is coming from an island, and in this tiny island you can't find the same things you find in Tokyo, of course. So Makoto Shinkai here wants to represent how a person can be afraid of Tokyo, because Tokyo is big, and if you have never been here, you can't even imagine how big this metropolis is. Especially if you come from a tiny city, you of course feel the difference. This was amazing, because usually when people come to Tokyo they say, wow, so great, look at how many lights, oh, that's beautiful. I opened the bracket. I am so happy that Makoto Shinkai really represents what Kabukicho is, because people have a strange vision regarding Kabukicho. Thank you, Makoto Shinkai. You well represented the routine or the real life in Kabukicho. Yeah. Close brackets.
Especially when I found the love hotel area, I loved it.
Yes. One of them, it was called Amore, the Hotel Amore. That means love in Italian, so wow. Okay.
But now, let's turn to the serious moment.
Okay.
He came to Tokyo and wow, he found many skyscrapers. But in this great metropolis, always he felt lonely. And
sorry to say, this is another great reality of Tokyo. Because maybe you believe that, okay, in Tokyo there are a lot of people are always together with other people, etc., etc. No, reality is totally different. In Tokyo you can find many people who struggle with loneliness. And sometimes it makes a seriously problem as a reality. Yes, it's a huge number of population, but it doesn't mean all people have a connection with somebody else. This is just what you guys probably imagine by watching anime, by watching movies, but most of the times is totally the opposite. Sensei, should we talk about music? Yes. Red Wimps, good job. Good job. Yeah, I really loved the soundtrack. Really beautiful, really delicate, really soft. A perfect match with the story. Since I listened this theme song, I liked it so much. And also other song, Hodaka and Nagi, they are singing in the karaoke. Yeah, that's funny. I like this scene. Yeah. Funny. In fact, the fact that they go into a love hotel because they are followed by the police. Also because, let's say that Hodaka wanted to shoot a man who was trying to force Hina to go inside of a host club in Kabukicho. Yes. So Hodaka wanted to protect Hina. This is the second time they meet, because the first time they meet in the McDonald's and she is offering him a Big Mac. The second time is when he is trying to rescue Hina from this man. And he has a gun because he found it on the ground. Do you remember? Yes. It was always in Kabukicho, and he found this gun on the ground. He opened it while he was in McDonald's, and then he decided to hide it. Then when he had to rescue Hina, he decided to point the gun in front of this man, and also in front of the policeman at the end of the movie, while he tries to reach Hina on top of that cloud. Since that cloud that on top it has grass. And at that moment, policeman said, "Don't let me shoot." Yeah, the voice is that one of Eren, we confirm. But what about that cloud? Since the shape of the cloud is strange and... Yes, we saw it. The same shape of a cloud. When we were flying to Italy last year, we saw the same shape, guys. So maybe Makoto Shinkai was in the same airplane as we were, since and we didn't even know. That cloud! That cloud! Yeah! On top there is grass, since that's strange, huh? But as always, Makoto Shinkai has to put something that is unusual, something that is like a fantasy world, otherwise it's not a fantasy movie, of course. Anything else that is interesting to say, Sensei? Till now, we were talking about two main characters, Hodaka and Hina. Yeah. But some other characters, they create the beautiful or funny characters. Oh yeah, I agree. For example...
I like especially Nagi-kun.
Yeah, the younger brother of Hina. Yeah, he is so funny, especially
Yes.
the scene in the bus that there is a Hodaka that he's trying to reach a place, and on the other hand there is Nagi-kun in the background who is flirting with other girls from Shogaku from elementary school because he is an elementary student, and Hodaka-kun, he's making a face like, wow, he's more talented than I am, so he was really awesome. Also, when Nagi-kun suggested him to buy something for his One-chan, his sister. Come on, buy something to my sister. You have to confess your feelings. How you can ask me, I can advise you and stuff like that. He pretended to be an adult. So what do you think?
He's so great because some scene he can be funny. Other scene he can be かっこいい, cool.
He has these different features of his personality, and it's
And
great.
he is so kind. That he wants to let his elder sister to be a normal high school student.
He always remarks that his sister worked since their mother died to let him go to school. So he wants to repay her with something good, in this case, Hodaka. Another character, Sensei, is the journalist.
Oh yeah, journalist.
I think he was really essential. First of all, he gave an opportunity to work to Hodaka. When you come to Tokyo, sometimes it's hard to find a job. So the fact that there was this kind of person who let him join his team, it's really good.
Thanks to Suga-san, Hodaka found the place to live.
It's really hard also to find a place to live in Tokyo. It's not so easy.
And he can make advice to Hodaka. It's time to you come back to reality.
And also, let's say that Suga-san is really important at the end of the movie because he decided to trust Hodaka when he wants to save Hina and go on top of that strange cloud in order to rescue her and take her back to life because listen, the more she uses the power, the more she is losing her life. Her body is disappearing. You can see it also in the Love Hotel scene.
Yes.
He wants to rescue her, but nobody else is trusting him. I mean, all the generations police as well, they are not trusting this boy because they are saying he's crazy, that's it. And he has to pay for the crime that he had a gun. So nobody is thinking about Hina anymore. And at the beginning, Suga was against him because he said, as you said, go back to reality. But when he saw Hodaka's eyes and he understood that he was not lying, he was saying something real. That even if other people can't see with their own eyes, they should trust more. He decided to
Trust.
not only to trust, but also to rescue him from the police.
Maybe he's a metaphor of different generation or reality side and fantasy side. They can understand each other.
Absolutely. Even if sometimes you can't see things with your own eyes, that doesn't mean that they don't exist. Or even if you believe that what a person says is stupid or unbelievable or irrational, try to believe, because it's not something wrong. Many times it's totally the opposite. I mean, the effect can be positive, so you don't even know until you try.
So Amore, I think it's a time to finish this video.
Yeah, it was pretty long, sorry.
Let's talk about the last subject. Last subject is ending.
Guys, write in the comments below which type of ending do you think it was. So for example, Sensei, what do you think about the ending?
It's not a normal happy end.
As always, because Makoto Shinkai at the end he puts the title of the movie and that's it. When you expect that he is going to continue the movie, it's finished.
It's not happy, but for Hodaka and for Hina, it's fine.
Yeah, let's say that it's an happy ending for them because
So-
they meet again.
Maybe we have to put the other name instead of a happy end.
Yeah, I should say it's an open ending because they don't give you all the keys in order to understand how it will go. If the water will disappear from Tokyo, if they are going to get married, or if there will be other problems in the future, we don't know. It's up to you, as always. That's why I like movies like this, because it depends on your own interpretation.
Maybe he wants to say to reach goal, It's not important. The more important thing is start
Start one more time.
Yes, one more
Yeah,
time. And
that's
stand
right.
up one more time.
Okay guys, for this video that is it. Hope you enjoyed and leave a comment below with your impressions after you will watch Tenki no Ko. Subscribe to our channel, follow us on our social media. Bye Sensei.
Bye guys.
See you next time. Maybe we can do in the future a live streaming once you also watched this movie in order to share opinions, because maybe other people have something else to say. So stay tuned. Bye guys, see you next time.
Bye guys.